Well, hello and welcome to the latest edition of Equine Production TV, and a very special show we've got for you today, because as you can see, we are live at Tweenhills amongst some very cute and gorgeous foals. David Redvers, hello to you, good afternoon. It is Bank Holiday Monday, the sun is shining, it is quite a chilly one, but what a place to be on isolation, in self-isolation amongst all those lovely foals.
Yeah, it's quite cold, I have to tell you. I don't know what's happened. We were in the middle of summer yesterday. We seem to have gone back about a whole season. But yeah, no, it's wonderful. We're here on a Bank Holiday Monday. I'm in the field called the Clay Pits, which has got 8 or 9 of our nice young mares and foals here. And I thought I'd bring you down to introduce you to 1 or 2 of them before you go and see some of the rest of the team.
Well, we're going to do a bit of a tour very quickly. I mean, we're going to be going down to the foaling yard, and we're going to go and see some stallions. Firstly, let's head to the yearling, because Scott is there amongst the yearling fillies. And Scott, I know you've got to dash off, or your phone's about to die, but just show us around, tell us who you're with.
Yeah, with a bunch of 20 or so yearlings out here. See them. And I'm with Just a Judge.
That one's by Just a Judge.
Yeah.
Super friendly. It's quite hard to hear you, but how many fillies have you got in the field there? And so they're all, well, presumably, yeah, they're just sort of just one and a bit years old.
Yeah, there's 20 or so in here. They're in a gorgeous big field, enjoying the sun, enjoying the grass. Just glad to be out. They don't know anything's any different. They still need looking after, so yeah, making the most of being outside.
And for you personally, how's the current situation been?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, isn't it? I think we're lucky that we're in our bubble a bit here, really, and the horses sort of take precedent being looked after, and that can't stop. So we kind of have to carry on. We've taken all the necessary precautions to try and keep us all safe, but yeah, these guys just don't know any different. This is a Nippy. She's not one of the follow the foals, but she's been following me around all morning, so I think she just wants to get involved in the action.
I was going to say, have you got a favourite amongst them? But I think you'd be a bit harsh if you didn't say this one is your favourite, given that she's the most.
I think a Nippy's probably everyone's favourite. Yeah, they're loving it out here. Loving it. It is absolutely freezing, I have to say, but yeah.
Well, I'll let you go. Let's head back to David then, who's with some of the foals. David, given the situation then where we are, I mean, how much has it changed for studs like you? Is it very much going on as normal?
Yeah, it's the attack here it's exactly the same as normal, really. We're obviously going through all the precautions we can and making sure that people are keeping plenty of distance between themselves. Are you still there? I seem to have Scott, not you.
No, I'm still listening in.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's the mare's still arriving at the stud, and how's that working?
Yeah, no, everything's pretty much working as before. We have strict protocols we go with to give everything the best chance of carrying on. Obviously, we're still at a very, very busy time in the season here with stallions very busy covering away. We have pretty much a full team of staff here. We have, I think, 3 members of staff that are now working from home, and one chap who's fairly high risk has been banished to self-isolate in his tractor. But otherwise things are really pretty much the same as normal. At the end of the day, livestock has to be looked after, has to be fed, watered, and kept safe, and it has no, it doesn't really make any difference whether we're in the middle of a pandemic or not, as far as the animals are concerned. So we have to do what's required by them.
And so many of your stallions would have been booked into mares booked your stallions, but for months. So then, as this situation has evolved, has much changed at all? Have you had any cancellations, or how's the sort of logistics going of getting mares onto the stud?
There've been a few cancellations for mares travelling from abroad. but mostly it's pretty much carried as on before, really. I mean, we've apart from the precautions that we're taking, you wouldn't really know there's a lot different. Obviously, we're all very concerned about the economic ramifications of the whole thing, and nomination fees are a very large part of people's expenditure, those that breed racehorses. So, you know, we've got lots of concerns as to how that's going to pan out, how the yearling sales, the breeze up sales, the breeding stock sales are all going to work, because clearly we're entering a different age. But from a practical point of view, nothing's really changed, if I'm honest. We just have to be very sensible about how we carry on and make sure the strict protocols are adhered to.
Well, just quickly, before we're going to go ahead to the foaling yard, the foaling unit with Sammy in just a moment, but just tell me about some of the foals we've got behind you here.
Well, I've got a couple of favourite ones. This is a lovely Zoo Star filly. She's out of Moons of Jupiter. She belongs to Widden Stud in Australia. They bought a couple of mares, so that's specifically to go to Zoo Star. This one here, this is an absolute terrorist. He thinks he's king. This is a roaring lion colt out of Mountain Bell. He's an absolute thug. As you can tell from his eyes, he's not going to eat me. He's going grey already, so he's going to be very like Daddy. I'm quite sure it's Daddy reincarnated come back to haunt me. You can see with his markings on his face. Oops! If I look this way, there's another incoming roaring lion. You can see almost identical head markings. This is a beautiful filly. Again, she's going grey out of Kizza, who was a Group 1 winner in Italy. And these two little thugs, look at them. I mean, they're both identical, really, character-wise, temperament, markings, and that's been the really exciting thing, seeing all these new roaring lions. Ow, shitbag. These new roaring lions come along, because they've all got his cheeky temperament, big broad heads. She's going to give me a clatter now. Never worked with children or animals, I think they say. So yeah, no, it's terribly exciting. It's slightly painful.
But Roaring Lion was a bit of a soppy horse in the stable, wasn't he? In the end.
Oh, he was, but he had plenty of mischief to him as well, albeit good-natured. And these guys are the same. They're just lovely. They've got so much front. They seem to have that slightly sort of they're almost too intelligent for their own good, really.
And how many Roaring Lion offspring have you had this week?
I think we had another absolute screamer, which you'll meet shortly, last night at Molly Malone. But I think we're probably up to about 28 or so, 28 or 30. And we've got, that's not yours. And we've got, I think Sammy will give you a better idea exactly, but I think we've probably got about another 20 odd to be born, foals to be born, and probably another 5 or 6 roaring lions. So yeah, no, it's a hell of an exciting bunch. Here comes the terrorist again.
And these foals are how old ones in the field?
So these foals out here, these are all out permanently now. So these will all be about 6 weeks old. These mares here are just waiting to be scanned. They would have been covered. We're waiting to be scanned, or they're already in foal, and we're waiting to scan them far enough down the line that we can then move them to another farm off site, to Course End Farm and Slopers. So we try and get them, once the mares are in foal, we move them away from the main farm, because this is where we have all the visitors coming in. And it's just better for biosecurity to get them moved back away. Actually, there's one up here I've got to show you, because this is, I know you're not supposed to have favourites, and I'm not going to say it with those other two around me, because they will take serious umbrage. But this is a filly here. No, she's not going to give you much of a show, because she's fast asleep. But this is out of Likely, by Roaring Lion, and this is about as smart a foal as we've ever had on the farm. I don't know how much of you can see. Can you like one? There we are. She's saying hello. She's absolutely beautiful. Got so much presence and strength. Can't wait to see her as a racehorse. The mare was very, very fast. So couldn't really be a more exciting time of year for us here, and great to be able to share it with you.
It looks absolutely idyllic. Thank you so much for showing us some of these adorable foals and seeing them loving life. So these foals, as David said, are around about 6 weeks old. Let's now head to the foaling unit. Sammy, you've got some very new foals. Hi, Sammy. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Sorry, getting mere kisses at the moment.
Well, look, you've been a busy girl over the last few months, haven't you?
I have. I'm here with the gorgeous roaring lion colt. He was born last night at 3 a.m. You just missed him drinking, actually. He's very healthy. He just had a big breakfast, a big Easter breakfast.
And so how many foals have you brought into the world in the last few months?
I think we've done about 65 and we've only got 19 left. So we're doing well, nearly the end. But yeah, no,
you're still loving it, given you've probably been up for most nights for the last few months.
Yes, yeah. No, we had 2 last night. One was at 9 o'clock, which is a decent time, and then this little fella came in at 3 a.m. So he wanted me to wake up.
And how has he been? How's this little one been then?
Oh, he's just gorgeous. He knows exactly what he wants. I think just like David was saying, like the other roaring lions, they've got character, and yeah, they're not afraid to go for whatever they want to do. But no, he's gorgeous. He's got his ears pricked, and very friendly. He loves the cuddles, and his mum's lovely as well. She's looking brilliant. She's got nice dapples, and she's looking really healthy. So yeah, no, brilliant.
And mum doesn't seem too bothered about you giving the foal lots of attention.
No, I think she's happy she doesn't have to for a change. I think he's quite demanding, so I think she's quite happy that someone else is giving him rubs and cuddles instead of her for a while.
So when I came down and saw you guys early in January, I was very lucky to see your first foal was just born the night before. And you said that you thought that you could probably spot a really good foal when they were just a couple of days old. So have you seen some good ones? Do you agree with David about the chestnut roaring lion foal we just seen in the field?
Yes, I think Lively is brilliant. And there's another roaring lion called a chestnut as well, exceedingly rare. I think that also stunning. Bella Noof is lovely. I think there's been a couple stunners, but I think this one is lovely as well. Big, strong foal, and he's just gorgeous. Yeah, no, but you know, we've been very blessed. There's been some really stunning ones.
Well, look, thank you so much, Sammy, for giving us a little bit of an insight and showing us this new little chap. He's only less than 24 hours old. Give him a big cuddle from us because he looks so adorable. Let's then head over, back to the yearling field and join Peter, because Peter, you've got a very special mare there with not the mare, the offspring, sorry, Simple Verse yearling, but it's going to be quite hard to tell which yearling that is because they've all been mugging you at the moment.
That's him right here, but as you can see, they're mugging me at the moment.
Yeah.
But they're all doing well, enjoying life outside, being turned out, and just being young teenagers, really.
And who's the Simple Verse yearling by?
He's by Franco.
And is look, perfect parents. Let's and is he living up to expectations so far?
Absolutely. You know, he's growing out into a nice yearling. You know, and he's got a lot of scope. So we've got high expectations for him. You know, and hopefully he can follow in his mum and dad's footsteps.
Well, fingers crossed. And as you say, these yearlings just be teenagers at the moment. They're just enjoying life and probably about their only time in their career that they'll just be able to spend, you know, a year out in the field just growing up.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got a few more months out in the paddock before they've got to go into training or start yearling prep. So they've got to enjoy the sunshine while they can.
And you enjoying your job at the moment, being able to sort of hang out with all of these foals and yearlings and try and forget about some of the troubles we've got out there?
No, absolutely. You know, I think we're lucky to a degree that we can still go to work and be involved with these animals and look after them. See, you know, we're not completely isolated. We can still get out and do our job. So in that regard, we're still lucky. But as David mentioned before, we've got to stick to the protocols and make sure everybody is safe and hope we can get all through this and get out the other side in one piece.
Let's hope so too. Look, thank you very much for showing us some of these rather precocious yearlings, and full of themselves. Give them a big pat from all of us. And to complete our tour of Tweenhills, let's now head to the stallion yard and join Ivo, who's got Zoostar, who is here's his first time at Tweenhills this season.
No, this is actually Zoostar's second season. He's been up here. So unfortunately, he's not as friendly as some of the foals are. He enjoys his time out alone. So he's trying to make the most of his time at grass. He was busy covering, so he covered 3 times a day here at Tweenhills. And in between their time not covering, we try to give him as nice life as we can. So we live out in the fields all day, especially when the sun's shining. There is a bit of a wind, but I mean, very lucky. He's got some lunch out here. He's got a good view.
And so how many mares is he covering roughly a day?
So we limit ourselves to 3 cubs a day. We give them 5 hours in between each cover. So we start at 7 a.m. in the morning with our first cover. Then we'll do a 12 o'clock lunchtime cover, and then an evening one at 5. And that's the way we like to do it here, is just with our 3 covers. Obviously, we've got 5 stallions, so we can be covering. You can have 4 or 5 stallions covering in each time frame. So we are kept busy with it.
And he's pretty well. The arduous schedule he has.
Yeah, he takes it very well. He's very professional. He's obviously in his 5th season, kind of covering back to back. So he knows exactly what he's doing. So he's easy. He's one of the easiest stallions we have. Ultra professional, comes in, does his job, and comes back out to the field. So he's more than happy with that lifestyle.
And he's busy because he shuttles from Australia back and forth.
Exactly. Australia's his native land. So he's there in their breeding season, which is during our summertime, our off time. He's down there covering, and then he shuttles up here to our breeding season. So he's always on the go. And
how about the other stallions? Are they taking the sort of busy period well?
They are. Yeah. Again, we're, as I said with Zoostar, we're very lucky. All our stallions are kept nice and busy, and they all know their job well. They've been doing it for a while now. So we're very lucky that they can easily come into the covering barn and do their job. Just trying to find a van of gold out in his field somewhere. See if he'll say hello to us.
And they're all living out then, the stallions, then, when they're busy covering?
They do. They go out during the day, and they're in at night. Obviously, the nights are still a little bit cold, and we don't want them out catching a chill. But during the day, when the sun's shining and they've got nothing else to do, it's easy for them just to have a nice summer out. They'll come say hello to us.
Come over and say hello. He probably thinks he's going to have another covering, so he's probably coming at the trot, is he? There he is. Says, who have you got? You're going to take me out, and he thinks he's going to go and see a mare, doesn't he?
Yeah, hope he doesn't try and bite me in the process.
Well, look, thank you so much, Ivo, for showing us some of the stallions. And I remember when I came down, as I said, in January, they were just so relaxed and chilled and, as you say, utter professional. So thank you, Ivo. Let's head back to David then, because I think, David, you've got another good friend. You're back at home. Who have you got here?
I got Pip. I got out of the wind, I'm afraid.
It's a good idea. Thank you so much, David, for giving us giving us a wonderful tour of Tweenhills. It's a beautiful place, particularly, as you say, when the sun is shining. And just remind us, how many acres have you got? How many horses on site?
Well, as Ivo was saying, we've got 5 stallions. We farm now somewhere about 750 acres, of which the vast majority is in pasture. We do grow our own oats, and we have a large Aberdeen Angus suckler herd, which runs alongside the horses and helps keep everything clean, and we farm in rotation. At the moment, we've got around about 140 stables, I think, and we've got 50 yearlings on the farm and over 100 mares and foals. So it's a very, very busy operation, a very, very busy time of year, and as you've seen, we've got a great team. So so far it's all going pretty well.
You certainly do have a very good team, and it is a particularly busy time of year for studs up and down the country. I mean, normally I know you travel an awful lot. Would you be at home quite so much as this? Is this the time when you are generally at the stud?
I'm actually quite spoilt because I would normally be in Australia this time of year. We would have been over to New Zealand. We were all booked to go to New Zealand to look at some foals and stock we got over there, and then we were going to, that's Hannah, my assistant, and myself, were going to the Easter sale where we were buying and selling. We still sold some horses in the online auction at Inglis the other day, but yeah, no, it's my favourite time of year to be on the farm, and very often I'm away from it. So very, very lucky to be here, really. It's going to be quite difficult getting back to the normal pace of life when this is all over. I think it's going to be a problem that everybody faces, that you know, quite a few people have had to take their foot off the gas pedal and get themselves organised in the environment in which they find themselves now. When this whole thing is over, we're all going to have to find the gas pedal again.
Yeah, I know what you
and
mean.
The passport. I'm not sure where my passport is anymore.
It's quite, you kind of get used to doing not a lot all day, which is it's very relaxing. And those sales you mentioned, online sales, how have they been so far? I mean, which countries are doing those, the online auctions?
Well, the only people to have done it so far are Inglis in Australia. They have a bit of a track record with doing online sales anyway. They managed to make it work very well. But the Australians could just about get away with an online yearling sale because most of the yearlings are seen on the farms by the buyers beforehand anyway. Those farms that were unable, that weren't based in the Hunter Valley, for example, they really struggled because they didn't get that many people down to the farms to have a look at them beforehand. And that's one of the problems we'll have here going forward, is that unless things are relaxed to the extent that business can carry on as normal, business will suffer dramatically. And that's whether we're talking about getting racing again, breeze up sales, yearling sales. There's the whole, it's an industry, not a sport, this, as I keep saying, and we need the wheels within the wheels to get turning again. And the sooner we can get racing, the sooner we can get back to normality.
And do you think that the industry, as we know, there has so many different dimensions to racing, what with the sales, the studs, there are retraining, there's all sorts, but do you think it's very much about racing, getting racing back and having fixtures rather than worrying about yearling sales or other gatherings?
Well, without racing back on, there will be no yearling sales. There'll be no breeze up sales. There'll be no sales. There'll be no trade. You can't sell any yearling, certainly not a breeze up horse, without the promise of racing for them. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're buying racehorses at the end of the day, and if there are no races for them to run in, there's no demand for them. There will still be some demand for breeding stock, but with luck, with the BHA doing the great work, continuing to do the great work that it's doing, and getting a resumption of racing as soon as possible, obviously under strict protocols and behind closed doors, we'll be able to return to some form of normality. And then we, of course, are going to have the added worries and concerns about what happens to the wider economy, because that obviously has a massive effect on our industry. So it's very, very uncertain times at the moment, but there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes to make sure that we can get up and running very quickly as and when the lockdown is relaxed somewhat.
Well, let's hope that soon, or fingers crossed. But look, and thank you very much, David, for giving us a wonderful tour of Tweenhills. Thank all your staff as well, and all of the superstars, all those lovely foals and yearlings, and of course the stallions as well. Thank you, and look, stay safe, and fingers crossed, as you say, we can look forward to some summer racing, and so we'll summer days like that, and we'll all be forgetting this situation. But look, lovely to see you, and stay safe, and chat again soon.
Thank you, Ali. Lovely to see you.